Hey y'all, we are back and we have another grant, but this time we have three different grants. And we're doing something a little bit different this time. We're going to do nonprofit grants because I have been getting a lot of inquiries. I know we do small business grant opportunities, but nonprofits need money too. So let's continue this money train. But this video, there's going to be a total of $625,000 worth of opportunities for our nonprofit organizations. And on top of that, one opportunity is worth $500,000. As always, if you get anything of value out of this video, beginning, middle, end, like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Turn on your notification bell because we want to make sure that you all do not miss these deadlines. But this one ain't got a deadline, y'all. These are rolling grant opportunities. So whenever you see this video, you can apply for it. But of course, you still want to turn on the bell because other ones have deadlines and we don't want you to miss them. Check out the small business grant playlist. There are several opportunities on there because I know some of you all have both for-profit businesses and nonprofit businesses. And if you can get money for both of them without having to go in your own pocket, you need to do that. And of course, if you would like to support the channel so I can continue to provide these resources free of charge on YouTube, please come over to the Patreon. Let's look in there real quick so you can see what we got. So here is the Patreon. We have different levels. Some are sold out, some are not, that you can still sign up for. Of course, the information here is locked, but once you become a member, all of this information will be unlocked. We have a $10,000 grant that's in here. We have a $25,000 grant for a commercial vehicle. So especially for you nonprofits, you might need a van, you might be, transporting students, residents, whatever it is. So it's definitely a great opportunity. And then just other stuff, cohorts, mentorship. I put a lot of stuff in here, but I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you're going to come over to the other side, which is the Patreon, so I can continue helping y'all out. Now, let's talk about these grants. The only difference with this video is I will not be able to do a walkthrough only because most opportunities, I don't have the information myself. When I say the information, whether it's a SAMS number, sometimes I don't have an EIN number for my nonprofit or I do not have a nonprofit, y'all. I do not have the requisite information to get to the next screen. So I'll get frozen out without putting in an EIN number, and I don't have one. But I am going to still show you all these opportunities. So let's get into this first grant opportunity, which is for $5,000. Okay, so our first opportunity is sponsored by Walmart. And here, this is local community grants. And what that says, local community grants range from a minimum of $250, a maximum of $5,000. And the same advice that I give about all grant opportunities is only ask for what you need. Do not ask for $5,000 if you know that you will not be able to utilize that $5,000. And then they've shown you grant applications for the calendar year of 2023 will be accepted on a quarterly basis. Deadlines for submissions are. So right now we are going to be in Q2. So you have a deadline of July the 15th in order to apply for their second quarter grant. So you have plenty of time. And of course, if you miss second quarter, you got third quarter, you got fourth quarter. So you have plenty of opportunities to apply for these grants. And then the eligible nonprofit organization must operate on a local level. So this is for our small nonprofit organizations. And I wouldn't even say small, you just can't be a national nonprofit organization that is asking for this funding because they are truly trying to support nonprofits that are boots on the ground in their community that otherwise does not have access to the larger grant opportunities that are there for our national nonprofit organizations. Submitted, within a quarter cycle. Organizations may only submit a total number of 25 applications and or receive up to 25 grants within the 2023 grant cycle. You can get 25 grants. Now, you obviously have to have some type of programming that you're going to use the funds for, you can't just keep applying for grants, y'all, right? So let's say you do the $250 one where you're doing a program and you might just need $250 to buy sodas, to buy food, to print things. And then you might do a larger one where you're like, okay, we need $5,000 because we have all these other things that we're trying to get. Remember, only ask for what you need, because you don't want to be flagged as somebody that's just applying for money to get money. Okay. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a audit piece attached to it. And then it says all organizations applying must be Cyber Grants front door verified. You know, verification means that they're going to ask you for your tax exempt letter. They're going to ask you for your orders of incorporation. They might even want your bylaws. They might even want your board meeting minutes. So definitely this isn't somebody that can just say, oh, I got a nonprofit, give me some money. No. So here is the criteria. Tax exempt status, which we've talked about, and they say 501c3 of the IRS Master File, United States public charity, 509A1, 2 or 3, types 1 or 2, and again, Cyber Grants front door verified. A recognized government entity, because most folks think that just because they're a nonprofit, they now have tax exempt status. It is a two-step process, two-prong, whatever you want to call it. First step is at the state level, where you're going to incorporate your nonprofit corporation. A nonprofit is a type of a corporation. And then after you do that, you say, I don't want to pay no taxes, so let me go get my tax exempt status so I can get these grants. So that is done through the IRS. Remember, first step, state level, second step, federal level. A K through 12 public or nonprofit, private school, charter school, community junior college, church, faith-based, with a proposed project that benefits the community at large, such as food pantries, soup kitchens, and clothing closets, and still verified by Cyber Grants front door. And then non-charities like homeowners, civics, etc., are not eligible at this time. And then they have 8 areas of funding: community and economic development, diversity and inclusion, education, environmental sustainability, health and human service, hunger relief and healthy eating, public safety, and then quality of life. And their selection process, y'all know I'm reading all this, and I always recommend that you do this. Read every single detail before you apply. Selection process: management at the facility to which you are applying will review the application and make initial funding recommendations. Facility manager might set the frequency and process in which application determinations are made. So remember, you have an entire quarter where you can apply, but what they're saying is they might decide we only give out grants at the end of the quarter instead at the beginning of the quarter, middle of the quarter, etc. They reserve the right to adjust the amount awarded. So you might ask for 5 and they give you 2, they give you 1. But again, your max ask, tongue twister, is $5,000. And then if an organization is approved, grant checks will be mailed directly to your address listed in the Cyber Grant front door profile. And then once you receive the grant, contact the local facility from which funds were awarded to schedule a formal recognition event if such an event is desired. So if you want to do, I'm just going to say ribbon cutting or something to show, hey, we got this award, and you want to do like a community event, you have to coordinate that with them. And then they always have something in bold. If you submit, that doesn't mean that you're going to get it. Funding exclusions include organizations that deny service membership or other involvement on the basis of race, religion, color, sex, sexual orientation, gender, identity, age, national origin, ancestry, citizenship, veteran, or disability status. So don't be out here discriminating, asking for money out, because Walmart, they not for that. And then you click here to get ready to submit the application, which we won't be able to go through the application because, again, I don't have any credentials to do that. But what I will say is just make sure for all nonprofit grant opportunities, similar to small business grant opportunities, you just have to have certain questions that you're already answering. This is probably going to be more programmatic. So what is your program? What do you need the money for? Is it a one-off event that you're doing that you're going to be looking for funds for? Make sure you have your documentation in order and then submit your application. But the benefit about this is you can get up to 25 grants. So the first one gets declined, try another one, right? But again, if you can get 25, maybe do a couple a quarter. I don't know how whatever your programming is, but never ask for more than what you need. So that is grant opportunity number 1. Grant opportunity number 2, $120,000. Let's look at this grant. This grant, y'all, is sponsored by Google, my best friend, because I'm on YouTube. So, Google on YouTube. So let's talk about Google. I'm not eligible because I do not have a nonprofit, but this one is for Google Ad Grants. They give you up to $10,000 a month in free Google ads. You know what that can do for your organization? If you are trying to get your name out there, you need to be getting this money from Google. And interestingly enough, a lot of nonprofit organizations do not know that this opportunity is out there because, honey, if I could get $10,000 a month as a for-profit business, I probably would be able to market and get all the SEO and rankings for my YouTube that I've never even thought existed. But again, like our small business grant opportunities, similar in here, they're going to ask you a few questions, but you'll receive $10,000 of in-kind. So if you're new to the nonprofit world, in-kind means free services. So I offered in-kind legal services, and then they attach a dollar amount to it. So if my fee is $250 an hour and I give them 2 hours, they're going to attach $500 to say that we got $500 of in-kind donations from Ebony. So in-kind essentially means free services. So in-kind advertising from Google each month to create text-based ads and get access to tools to help you build effective campaigns that can display on Google search when people look for information related to your nonprofit. And I know it's a challenge for a lot of nonprofits, especially when you're trying to do fundraising, you're trying to host events. It's like, how do we get our name out there aside from flyers, email lists, going to different events? If somebody can Google, because I do Google volunteer opportunities myself that I might be looking for. If I can go to Google and say, I don't know, volunteer opportunities, and your nonprofit organization pops up, and then I say, well, I can't volunteer, but I want to donate because this is really dear to my heart. So this is a game changer, right? So if you are able to apply for this grant, which you should be, it's a rolling opportunity, okay? And you don't have to use all of the $10,000. You might only use $6,000 or $2,000, but you get up to $10,000. If it were me, I'm going to use all 10,000 of those dollars. And I'm going to find somebody that knows how to use all $10,000 of those dollars. So literally you go to google.com/nonprofits, and then you're going to get to where we were at. You do Google Ad Grants, and then eligibility requirements. Not a government entity or organization, not a hospital or healthcare organization, not a school, academic institution, or university. And then they say Google for Education offers a separate program for schools. And then you can click here because there's full eligibility requirements based on your country. So this is not US specific, y'all, because I know we get the questions about global opportunities. This is a global opportunity for this particular grant opportunity. And then here you're going to start the verification process. So you're going to do your request. And again, with all of these grants, I'm pretty sure without me being able to go through that process, the verification process is going to include a tax-exempt letter from the IRS. It's going to include your articles of organization from the state level. They might ask for your bylaws. They might ask for your meeting minutes. They might ask for a budget, but I don't think they care about that because it's in-kind donations. But they might be like, what are you making per year? Because I don't know. But at a minimum, IRS, yes. State level, yes. Bylaws, yes. Meeting minutes, maybe. So y'all, this is that one. So now we are up to $125,000 of free money for your nonprofit organization, okay? Now the final opportunity gives you up to $500,000. Let's check this one out. Okay, y'all, our final opportunity is from Centene Corporation, and it is their corporate giving program. And their goal, as most folks' goal is, making a difference in our community. And then given requirements, so we're going to go through this as well, because I did go to submit a request and they started asking me information about a nonprofit that I don't have. So this is why we're doing more of a list this time and a walkthrough. Leave me a comment and let me know, did you like this? Do you like this setup where I'm doing the nonprofit and listing them? And like if you get anything out of value, and make sure you subscribe right now, y'all. Now, again, federal tax-exempt 501c3 nonprofit organizations as defined by the IRS Revenue Code through the Centene Charitable Foundation. Contributions are restricted to nonprofit organizations serving local residents in areas in which Centene has a presence. So you got to figure out, where does Centene have a presence, and then make sure that your nonprofit organization is in this area in order to get this grant. Consideration will be given to organizations that fall within one or more of the following areas of focus: healthcare access, education, and social services. I feel like with education and social services, that's such a broad description that most nonprofits fall into the category of education or social services. But of course, healthcare is one of those as well. And then they generally do not support individual persons, families, or other private foundations, political, labor, and fraternal organizations, for-profit publications or organizations seeking advertisements or promotional support, religious organizations, sponsorships, or local groups / individuals to participate in regional, national conference, etc. Funding restrictions. In keeping with this diversity and inclusion policy, Centene Charitable Foundation does not fund organizations that discriminate based on age, race, color, sex, religion, national origin, disability, family status, receipt of public assistance, sexual orientation. Again, you cannot be out here discriminating, asking for $500,000. I will tell you, it took me a lot of perusing to figure out how much they're willing to give folks, because it's not on this front page, but I verified that you can get as low as $300 and as high as $500,000. As always, only ask for what you need. Do not be a nonprofit organization that's serving 10 individuals a year asking for $500,000. You're going to get thrown out, you and your application. So make sure you're asking for what you need. And then these are just frequently asked questions like, how do you apply? Then you click on their online application. We've already talked about who can submit a request up top, and then who is not eligible for funding, what documents will you need? This is going to be important. Relevant program materials, IRS determination letter, which we've talked about, your 990, which means that they're expecting that you've been in business, for lack of better words, but you've been operating. That's better than saying business. You've been operating for more than a year, which would then have required you to submit a 990, and then a W-9 form, because they're going to be sending you money, and they are going to send that off to Uncle Sam to say that we gave them this money, and for them to get that deduction too. But the relevant program materials, as I said at the top of this video, is that with a lot of these grants, I'm not even going to say a lot of these grants, all of these grants are going to want to know, where are the funds going? And with nonprofits, typically you are funding some type of program. And if they're asking for relevant program materials, again, I'm assuming the expectation is that this is an existing program that you already have, that it is not a new program. I wouldn't be hesitant to apply just because it's a new program, because you can have materials for a program that you are looking to launch, and that is how you are fundraising for this program, by submitting that documentation. So this grant, even though they're asking for the materials, you can read it two different ways. Like either this grant is saying an existing program or the grant is saying a non-existing program. Either way, apply if you're trying to do something. And then if it doesn't fall within what they're looking for, unfortunately, they're not going to give you the money. And then when we'll be notified of a decision, so it can take up to 6 months for review. Once you'll be notified if, once a decision is made, and then you can also look it up. So you're going to have a portal, which I can't get into the portal because I don't have the documentation, but the portal will let you know if you've been approved or not. And I did not see anything that says that you cannot apply again if you are not eligible the first round. And let me not say eligible because that is not the right word. If you are not funded, because you can definitely be eligible and not funded. They might just not be interested in that program. So that's it, y'all. Those are the top 3 rolling grants that I have found so far. And I have a whole nother list of grants that I'm going to put out here as well for our nonprofit family, because I know I've been neglecting y'all. So we are going to start doing that as well. But again, this is a total of $625,000 of free money for your organization to be able to continue doing what you're doing or start something new. If you got anything of value out of this video, like, share, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, because I don't want y'all to miss these grant opportunities or the deadlines. But again, this is a no deadline video except for the quarterly one, but you can apply every quarter there. Check out the small business grant playlist because there are several grant opportunities there. I just posted a $1 million grant opportunity, $1 million grant. Come on over to the Patreon if you want to support the channel so I can continue providing these resources free for you all on YouTube. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to spend with me virtually. I want to thank you for supporting the channel. And wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are having a beautiful day. And I will see you all next time.